When a woman is ready, she becomes an irresistible magnet for everything that belongs to her by divine right. And your readiness simply starts with making a decision. You just simply choose. And so you might be thinking, well, okay, Monique, what is it that I'm supposed to choose? Well, choosing, or you simply choose to give yourself permission to have love now. You simply give yourself permission to be loved now, and you give yourself permission to operate at the highest level of your feminine allure. Because when you do, you get to step into the vision and really begin with the end in mind. You allow yourself to plan backwards, and that helps you to show up as a woman who is in control of her life without being controlled. And so I want to share just a little insight into my life, into my story. I want to share with you how my readiness really manifested my daughter in 18 months, my daughter Amelia. And I wrote a few things down because I didn't want to miss anything. And so, so here's what I want to say. Becoming a mother is like having a business. There's no perfect time to start. There's no perfect time to make it happen. And becoming a mom is something that, a woman can really, God willing, assuming every other thing is really in order for her to conceive. But this is something that we can just wait because we really want the situation to be perfect. But remember, it's not about perfection. Instead, it's just about readiness. And so the first thing that I had to do in terms of really setting myself up for this readiness was have the vision. I had a vision that I knew that I wanted to be a mother. I also knew that I wanted to have my child, the first child, at least by the age of 36. I was 33 when I had gotten married, and we discovered that we were pregnant, 2 days after my 34th birthday. So I had a vision in mind, and I was able to work backwards, which means the next step, I was like, okay, the next step was about creating harmony, or making sure that my husband and I were really in a harmonious relationship. We were really in harmony with each other. We were in sync with each other. And that was so important because I knew that there's nothing like bringing a child forth in love and warmth and connection. So one was having a vision. Number two was harmony. And harmony was so important because I would oftentimes hear, well, when you're going to have kids, and it's like, listen, y'all better pray to be in harmony first, okay? Because when kids come in, they can shift and change the situation. And that was important. Actually, I remember my mom's sharing that with me that, when she and my father had children, that's when things kind of went south. The third thing that I did, I want to kind of put these together, was that I tidied up my space. So the third step in the stage of readiness was really about creating an environment that would produce a favorable outcome, creating an environment that was conducive to the outcome that I wanted. So it was tidying up my space, so having a bedroom that would beckon us to the back, and also buying some lingerie. Like I have to do my part to feel turned on, to relax, to excite my husband, okay? So I'm saying this is really important because you can say that you want success, but if you're not preparing for it, you're actually going to get the thing that you are preparing for. I had to get clear. I had to get clear about my whole ovulation cycle. I knew what ovulation was, but I really didn't know. No, I didn't know that it meant that, really for a period of 6 days or so is when I'm at my most fertile. So I had to get clear about that. I actually purchased a program that would help me to understand how to identify what was really happening in my body. Even if I wasn't doing some app, I was able to pay attention to the signals and, let me just leave it at that. I was able to pay attention to the signals in my body that let me know that this time of the month is a time to mate for optimal results, I should say. The next thing that I did, and this is where a lot of us get tripped up, where we are expecting the negative. And it's like we get stuck there. Well, how can I overcome this negative thing? Well, really, what I did, I purchased a fertility-friendly lubricant, which is called Pre-Seed, and I highly recommend. I really believe that was the thing that helped to speed up the conception process. But I'm saying that because in my head it was like, okay, Monique, now I'm in my executive energy because I'm thinking about an outcome. I know that I want to have a child. I also know that there may be some days that I'm not turned on. I'm not in the mood, and my husband may not be in the mood either. So how can I do my part to make sure that we can get this thing going? and it's all good. Like we have a quickie moment and it'd be good. It will help to serve the purpose, and there's no beef. So that's what I did. I purchased a fertility friendly lubricant to help it flow and to get to where it needed to go. When we were pregnant, after realizing that we were pregnant, as we were going, I purchased books to help me along the process so that I can have a healthy pregnancy. It was my intention to have an unmedicated pregnancy. So I invested, I hired a doula for support. I also had an OBGYN, a really great person. But one of the things that I know is that my physician wasn't able to really be in the delivery room with me, right? So I'm into alternative medicine. I'm also into traditional medicine, and so I knew that I wanted to do my part, and I'm grateful that I was able to invest in myself, and I decided that this is what I wanted, and I was, with the support of my husband, able to make it happen. Another thing that I had done is that I hired a house cleaner. Again, for me, this was about creating an environment that was really welcoming to this child that was going to be in our home. And I didn't really nest so much. Instead, I baked cookies. Well, that was my form of nesting, I should say. I baked cookies. I really didn't get into the cleaning at all. And the thing about me is that I really want a clean space. I just don't want to be the one to have to do it. So I invested in a house cleaner, a cleaning service, I should say. And there was so much gunk that came up even about that hiring process. And I'm going to share that with you in the next video about when a woman steps into decision, how we're oftentimes met with resistance and all these different ideas that prevent us from operating at the highest level of feminine allure and keep us in indecision. And indecision is suffering. One of the things that I will say about readiness is that although I was preparing to bring this child forth, there was a part of me that still wasn't ready. Here's an example of this. There was a part of me when people would say, at this time I'm like 38, 39, even 40 weeks. And people would say, well, are you ready? Are you ready for her to come? Like, are you ready for the baby? And my response would be, she'll come when she's ready. I don't want to rush anything. I'm trusting that things will happen on its own. Does that sound familiar? How many times do you say when someone asks, do you want to be married? Are you dating someone? Is there someone special in your life? And you just kind of brush it off like, if it happens, it happens. In its own time, when God sends him. Are you doing your part? This is where you get to really tap into those attack thoughts, right? You get to tap into the fears that are really preventing movement and progress in your life. So for me, what this looked like, I was not ready. I was not really ready for this child to come forth in the moment. Because after the doctor's appointment, so, I'm like 40 weeks, I'm not really dilating. My cervix I'm not effacing, I'm not dilating, nothing is really shifting. And so the option of induction was presented to me. And I felt really out of control. I was really saddened and disappointed about that because everything else in the pregnancy was so smooth. I wanted to have an unmedicated pregnancy. This is the thing that I was preparing for. So I cried. And I remember driving home. My mother was with me at the time as we left the doctor's office, and I cried. And I just burst into tears and I said, how is this child going to impact our marriage? Because I knew from what I had heard about my parents that children change things. And because of that, I was not ready for her to really come down. So I had to get an induction. I labored for 20 hours, 22 hours, and then I opted for the epidural because I was so tired. And so really what happened after that, after I had gotten the epidural, my body just kind of opened up because I was able to relax. And I gave her permission to come down. So, where in your life are you disallowing the fullness? Where in your life are you disallowing the progress? Where in your life are you not moving forward in your goals? Where in your life are you seeing that you're taking steps, but it's not really bringing forth profit? Are you doing the things that will get you closer to your outcome, that are bringing you closer to love, that's helping you to soften your heart, that's helping you to release your guard, that's helping you to attract more, better quality men, that's helping you to express yourself in a way that men can hear you, that's helping you to feel good about yourself and even feel more confident? Or are you sticking to the things that you just know? For me, I had to invest and I had to give myself support. For you, where are you staying stuck? Like, who are you staying single for? Who are you staying a victim for? Who are you staying? You know what it is. See, the color just changed. So, if this video served you, right, which is really about readiness, remember that when you become ready, you definitely become a magnet for your desires. Okay. Want to say something really quickly. I had a conversation with a colleague not too long ago. We were, at a meeting or whatnot, and she was the one who actually introduced this concept to me of spiritual readiness, because everything happens in the spiritual realm before it actually goes into the physical, before it comes into the physical realm, the earth realm. And she shared with me how her first child, there was the second child came so swiftly, and the first one not so much. And I'm saying this because I remember reading or hearing a study about 39% of new moms, first-time moms, have to be induced. And I can just imagine all the thoughts of, am I really ready for this thing? Am I really ready? Am I really ready? That it's preventing the child from coming forth and creating all types of like sending signals in the body that say, not yet, not yet, not yet. So a girlfriend of mine has shared with me that, she saw like an herbalist or something. She had a conversation with a woman who created some herbs from her. And before she presented the herbs that were going to help her to soften her, like help her cervix to soften into the face, she asked her, well, tell me what's happening in your life. What is going on within you that is preventing this child from coming forth? And so that was the thing that hit me. I'm sharing that with you to say this, that we only know what's familiar to us until someone comes in and teaches us new information and shows us a new way of being. This is why investing in yourself and really investing in mentorship is the thing that is going to take you to the next level. Your passion and your purpose oftentimes comes from exposure. But if you don't give yourself permission to be exposed, if you don't give yourself permission to step in, you will remain stuck and you'll never have what is for you by divine right. Ooh, I'm feeling this. So, yes, give yourself permission to step in. Give yourself permission. Because when you decide that you are ready, and all it takes is a choice, you simply choose that you're ready, that's when everything will begin to unfold and unlock for you. It's already up there in the spirit realm. You just gotta give it permission to come down. You gotta be ready for it. I would love to help you with that. Okay, so this is stepping into your feminine allure, your decision making. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Listen, if this information served you, I want you to share it with just 2 women that you know, because when you share, you add value. Also, I want to let you know that I have a special training below. It's called the 5 shifts that my clients have used to find and keep Mr. Right. So you can click on the description box below and get access to that training. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. My name is Monique Head, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.